Dragons. Awesomeness incarnate. Do you just want to do Dracarys as a source of enemies aflame? If you hear church bells in the distance, do you just want to yell cowabunga and then commit a war crime? When you see this lady here, is your first thought, I can fix her? Because if you answered yes to all three of these, you're in the right place. What's going on? Beautiful people, Jagira here, and today we'll be going over my Pure Caster Dragon Priest build. Now, this is a level 100 build guide, and we're going to be going over the stats, the gear, the skills, the spells, and all that good stuff, the pros, the cons. So, with that out of the way, let's just jump into it, starting with the stats. Now, once again, this is level 100 build, and a little bit of, I guess, information here. Dragon Priest is one of these builds that I feel personally, the higher you take it, the better it's going to be, because it is such a stat heavy class. It is absolutely ludicrous how many stats you need to micromanage. For example, if you're going pure glass cannon sorcery, you can obviously just bung a bunch of points in intelligence, a bunch of points in mind, you're sorted. Doesn't work with Dragon Priest, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Let's start here. Vigor, we've got this at 31, Mind we've got a 30, Endurance we've got a 20, Strength we've got at 11, Dexterity we've got a 10, Intelligence we've got a 7, Faith we've got a 28, and Arcane we've got at 50. Now, the reason being here, 31 Vigor, once you start casting your spells, so for example our Breath attacks here, and even our Dragon Claw spell here, you're going to be animation locked. And being animation locked means that, you know, obviously you can't really move that well, and they have a very long animation that plays out. If you get hit, you're going to want to make sure you survive, okay? More so than any other caster, you know. You've got these casters, like I say, once we're going to go to our default sorcery builds, you can cast, you can move, you can cast, you can move, you can cast, you can move. Dragon Priest now. When you sit here and you channel a spell, you are channeling for a long time. So, if something dies before it gets to you, fantastic. But if not, you want to make sure you survive. So that's why we've got 31 Vigor, and this will probably be a stat that I'll take up to 40. I think there's nothing wrong with going 40, maybe even higher, because once again, just the more HP, the better. Mind, we've got a 30, and I think this is a perfect amount. Reason being, 30 is going to allow us to get an entire cast of an upgraded Dragon Breath off. So for example, Agil's Flame here, I can go through my entire mana bar. Thank you there, random citizen. I can go through my entire mana bar, and yeah, I've got no issue, and I have a tiny bit left over. Is there an argument for going more? Yes. Do I think it'd be worth it? Not particularly. Once again, this is going to be a build I'm going to take to 150, and it'll be something that I'll just see how it plays out then. Endurance is at 20, reason being we wear heavy armor in this build, okay? As I said before with the Vigor point, with this build, you are static, you are casting, and if you get hit, you want to make sure you survive. So you are wearing the heaviest gear you possibly can, and still being able to medium roll, okay? Also having higher poise is going to be pretty nice as well, going to allow you to do some trading and stuff like that. Once again, you know, armor choice, totally up to you. This is Fashion Souls, or Fashion Ring, whatever you want to call it after all. But most importantly, you want to make sure that you can take a hit and survive. Strength and Dexterity we don't really care about. Same with regards to Intelligence. We then go on to Faith and Arcane. Now Faith is at 28, and this is a great point here because Grahill's Roar is one of the spells that we can be using, and having that at 28 is going to allow us to use it. Apart from that, it also allows us to go use Golden Vow, even though I don't think that's 28, but I'll see. Mine's not too sure. It's pretty good. Other than that, we want to be throwing all our stats in Arcane, and that's because our weapon scales really well with Arcane. I'll be going over that in a second. So yeah, Arcane is going to allow, if I am correct, please correct me if I'm wrong, but as we all know, Arcane, Bleed, very powerful, but Arcane allows you with your status build-ups to happen quicker. For example, Scarlet Rot and Iced Attack Breath here. So maybe it allows it to proc quicker. But all I do know is our seals, scale with an S rank in Arcane, and this is going to be a perfect segue onto the equipment. So if we go here, as you can see here, I've got a Dragon Communion Seal in the left hand, and well, in the right hand, and then a Dragon Communion Seal in the left hand. Got one at 9, one at 8. Not got them at 10 yet, I know, absolute tragedy. But to give you an idea how far I am with the story, yeah, your boy's taking his time, okay? So we've got these two steals here. Obviously, I've not done New Game Plus yet. I was very fortunate to have a good friend of mine give me a Dragon Communio seal. So Aaron, thank you for that. once again, as you can see here, passive effects, this boosts our Dragon Communio incantations, which is our Claw, Agil's Flame, SDX Decay, Ice Breath, and Schmalg's Glintstone Breath. That is 5 skills we are boosting. And if I am correct, both of these stack. Now, I believe this one here is a 20% one. I don't think it's 20% again, I think it's 15%. I am not too sure in the mathematics. All I know is it works. And even if it doesn't work like that, beautiful people, all it does matter, attribute scaling. S rank in Arcane, C in Faith. This does go to a B at +10. And this one here will also go to a B in +10. But at the moment we've got this as an S scaling in Arcane. So that is why we're pumping Arcane like crazy. As you can see here, I've got the Gravelled Stone still. Now this boosts Dragon Cult incantations. If you're not fortunate to have a friend who can give you their Dragon Communio seal, or you're not on New Game Plus, or any of that good stuff, you can pick this up from the Royal Capital and it boosts your Dragon Cult incantations, which is your Lightning Spear here, which is very nice. So if you are going to be fighting from a distance using Lightning Spear, there is nothing wrong with putting this on, getting that boost there to your Lightning Spear damage, and just having a really, really good time. We're going to be going on to the armour now. Silver tier mask. Now, my arcane is actually at 42, beautiful people. It's not actually at 50. This mask here boosts it by 8 points and gets it up to 50 for us. Very good. Once again, this build is a very stat-heavy, hungry build. So being able just to go and have, you know, almost 8 levels free to put points elsewhere, absolutely fantastic. It is just a godsend. Armour-wise, we're using Radhan's armour here. Mainly because I think red and gold look absolutely awesome. And it fits the dragon theme well, even though this is a lion themed armour. But also because it's some of the strongest armour I've got, with some of the best defences. And once again, like I said, this is a build that you're going to be static, you're going to be trading with. And you're going to want to make sure that you can trade against people. Okay, so that's what I'm using. You can obviously use whatever you want, but I do advise the heavier and the stronger the armour, the better. But you still want to make sure you can medium roll. Okay, the beauty of this casting build is that we're only using seals, no stars or anything, and seals, I mean, like, look, 0 weight, 1.5. It doesn't take up a lot. Okay, Talismans, Faithful's Canvas Talismans. This boosts the potency of incantations. Now, as we can see here, we've got nothing but incantations, so you know that's an absolute godsend. There is a more powerful version of this I'm aware of, and when I get that, I'm going to be a very happy boy. The Ritual Sword Talisman. Now, this raises your attack power when your HP is at maximum. This is going to be very good when you're fighting from a distance and you're using your lightning bolt to pick off a single enemy, or if you see a pack of mobs in the distance, you're going to have a lot more attack and you're going to do your Agil's Flame or something like that and just absolutely mow them down. We've got Fire Scorpion Charm here. Now this raises your fire attack but it lowers your damage negation. Basically what that means is very fancy terms for you do more damage but you get hit fucking harder, okay? So make sure that you are at a distance. Once again, let's say this is a build that we fight from a distance, so can't go wrong here. And Radagon's Icon, shorten spell casting time. This does actually work with your dragon spells and it increases, it decreases how long it takes them to actually activate. A couple of frames, but you know what? It's great, it still works. I cannot remember the video I watched, but some absolute mad lad was comparing every single frame, and this does increase it. So if you're like, oh well, I can't really be bothered to use it because you know it's not going to really work, it's not going to be that huge, every frame counts, okay? Every frame counts. And Radagon's spell is going to be good with your Catch Flame here. Once again, this is a caster build, so we don't really have a melee weapon. Catch Flame is our basically pseudo melee weapon that we'll use here, but magic instead of physical. Potion wise, we've got 2 in Crimson and 10 in Cerulean. You could get away with 1 in Crimson and then 11 in Cerulean. The reason I got mine split like this, with like 2 here and 10 here, is mainly because of the Ash of War I use, and that's probably going to give a hint to some of you, and I'll go over why I use that particular Ash of War. And our Wondrous Physic here. We can see we've got the Flame Shroud and Character tier in here, temporarily boosts your fire attacks, and then the Cerulean Hidden tier eliminates all FP consumption. Now, we're using this because obviously fire boost here, and then obviously got a fire boost with my other skills here, and I'll go into that in a bit. Means Agil's Flame's going to hit like a fucking truck, okay? It's going to send a motherfucker to an Isekai realm. We've got the Cerulean Hidden tier here, though, to eliminate all the FP consumption. As I once said, you know, 30 Mind allows us to cast an entire dragon spell with, you know, a little bit of mana left over. This basically adds as a second Cerulean Flask, okay? because we're not going to need to go and actually use mana. It's absolutely fantastic. I think this lasts 10 seconds or around that time, so I may be wrong, but Flame Shrouding character tier lasts a lot longer. So for example, you could even pop this and then do your Scarlet Rot Breath or any of that stuff, but that's something I'm going to go over in a bit. But this is the equipment that we've been using, and now we're going to go on to the fun juicy stuff, and we're going to go over to the spells. But first we're going to look at our little dragon friend here. Hello. And then we're going to go over to the spells, and I'm just going to explain what I'm using and why I'm using them, okay? So here we go, memorize spells. Catch Flame, as I said, we don't have a melee weapon, and this suits as our pseudo melee weapon, okay? It's a very good get the fuck off of me button. You know, something attacks you, bam, 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 you set it on fire, it's dead. It is fast, and with Radacon's icon, it is even faster. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be looking at it going, Dragon Claw? Really? This is really good. Now, I'm not too sure exactly why, but this is really good against those crystalline enemies. Okay, now for those of you who know, you know, and for those of you who don't know, the little crystalline enemies that you find a lot in the Liurnia Lakes area, you know, they're made out of crystals, and you need to use smashing weapons against them. We is not a smasher, okay? We is a caster. Now, I had a mage build where I was using Rock Sling, and I realised, oh wait a minute, the Rock Sling is actually doing a lot of damage against these because it's kind of blunt force trauma. Maybe this works, and guess what? It does. Now, it's for 42 mana. I know it's focus points, I'm just saying mana, okay? Every other game it's mana. Don't try and be different Souls games. It's 42 mana, and you can cast this twice, but the way I like to cast it will only do once, and that's going to be little tips and tricks that I'll go into at the end. Flame, grant me strength. This raises your physical and fire affinity attack. Physical we don't care about. Fire affinity we do, because once again we've got the magic scorpion charm. We've also got our flame shrouding character here from our wondrous physic. So then you put this onto the equation. Aghil's flame is going to hit, and that is what we love. Ezek's decay. Now this is what I basically call the fuck it I'm bored button. If a boss is giving you shit, spray it on there, they'll get Scarlet Rot. Scarlet Rot is incredibly powerful, and then you just spend a while kiting around, you know, you put Netflix on the second monitor, you have a laugh, you watch the new season of Bucky, life is great. Dragon Ice. Now this channel is Dragon Dispute Icy Breath. Now, I haven't got the upgraded version of this, because once again I'm nowhere near that far in the story. When I do get it, obviously I will be replacing that. That's going to put Frostbite on the target, which is going to make them more susceptible to attacks. So in group content, something I like to do would be to do Dragon Ice, followed by Ezek's Decay, and then we'd go into Aghil's Flame. Or, if they are strong to fire, that is when we then go into Smaug's Glintstone Breath. Now, the difference between this and this, okay, this is obviously fire damage, this here is magic damage, and there are some monsters in the game that are naturally more immune to fire damage, in which case you'd want to go magic damage, and vice versa. Now, if I had the Magic Scorpion Charm, that is where I'd be talking about the Talismans as a sort of flex slot. I don't, because I'm an idiot and I lock myself out of that. So I've got to go wait until New Game Plus, or for a good friend to give me their Magic Scorpion Charm. Hint, hint, wink, wink, anyone watching this video. Lightning Bolt. Now, this is our ranged spell that we use. Very good at just taking things off from a distance. You could in theory replace this with the Madness Snipe skill, which I do not have yet, but that's even longer range and will probably be better. But this is a dragon casting build, so I wanted to stick with as much dragon spells as possible. Bestial Vitality, this heals your HP over a period of time. It's very low FP cost, and it's very, very quick to activate, and you know, it's pretty decent FP over the time. So this would be something that you could pop on while you're just like out and about. You get hit, it doesn't really matter, you know, you just wait for your HP to get to full, because once again, when our HP is at full, we get to use that Ritual Talisman's power to its most benefit, which is obviously the more HP we have, the more damage we do. We can replace this for something like Lord's Heal, Greater Heal, or any of the heals like that, which is just going to allow us just to heal entirely straight away. So that's probably more beneficial in a boss fight where you want to make sure you're at max HP as long as possible. And also if you're using Spirit Ashes, that's something that you may want to consider. But out and about in the general world, you know, you can't really go far wrong with a Bestial Vitality. And Golden Vow, this increases your attack and defense from self and allies. This is just absolute perfection. Once again, I mentioned how strong the Magic Scorpion Charm is with the Flame Shrouding character and our Wondrous Physic. and how that scales with Flame Grant Me Strength to boost our Heal's Flame. Guess what? This also works as well. So we've got 4 buffs for our Ag Heal's Flame. It hits so hard. Not to mention, obviously, this does give us a bit of a defense. I believe it is 15% on the attack and 7.5% on the defense is what we're going to be getting, which you really can't scoff at. This is absolutely fantastic. And I will put this on if I'm in an area where, like, I want to make sure that a lightning bolt's going to one-shot everything from a distance. I'll pop that on, do this. It's just mwah, absolute perfection. Now, obviously, this is what I use. You all can do different. You know, it's choice. Like I say, where is Grey Hills Roar? For example here, Grey Hills Roar, you know, it's a very powerful AoE around you that you could potentially use. Downside is it's 2 memory slots. But for example, if you're in an area, for example, you're in the Volcano Manor area, you're not going to need Ag Heal's Flame because everything is basically resistant to fire there. You're also not going to need Flame Grant Me Strength. So you can take those 2 out and put in Grey Hills Roar. Vice versa, you're in an area where there's a load of magic resistance, you could take out Schmal's Glintstone Breath and you can take out Dragon Ice. And then put Grey Hills Roar. To be fair, you don't really need Dragon Ice when you're doing solo content. You don't really need Dragon Ice overall. It's just nice there to be a team player, and obviously this is the most dragony build that I'm going for. I reckon if I really wanted to, I would... So for example, I'm fighting Radam. I will be taking off Schmal's Glintstone Breath. I'll probably take off this one here and put Grey Hills Roar on. For the sole reason, Grey Hills Roar, okay, it reduces the damage the target does to you if you hit them with this ability by 20% and increases the damage you do to them by 10%. As you can imagine, beautiful people, what does this mean once again? This means that the debuff from that is going to stack with Golden Vow, is going to stack with Flame Grant Me Strength, is going to stack with our Ritual Swords Talisman, is going to stack with our Fire Scorpion, which once again means Ag Heal's Flame here is hitting like a truck. So this is absolutely perfect, okay? And it's one of these things that you can experiment with. This is not obviously the most, like, you know, this is the 110% perfect Dragon Priest build guide video. That's going to be for level 150. Up until now, you know, this is what I've been working with, and I think it's very good. But we're going to go over the tips and tricks. But first, I want to go make sure the annoying knight is gone. You. Die. Okay. So, as we all know, Dragon Claw here, little tip, it takes a long time to go off. It's also very loud. It's very loud, okay? So you can see there, it took a long time to go off. Oh, wrong one. We don't like that. What we can do is animation cancel. Flame Catch Strength into Dragon Claw. Look how much faster that is, okay? So what you do is you see something, boom, and then straight like that, you completely get rid of that animation startup and you allow for a much quicker initiation. The only downside, okay, is once again with a Dragon Claw, you can cast this twice, like this. But if you're doing the whole catch flame into animation cancel, you can only do it the once. I'm now spamming my button and I can't get it off. It completely stops and then it restarts again and goes again. So that's something to kind of look out for, beautiful people, okay? If you used to take this build into PvP, that's something that you really want to look out for. It's going to be fantastic. Once again, obviously, I'm just going to go quickly show. As we can see here, stats, 160 FP. I'm going to just go give an entire cast of Ag Heal's Flame. There we go. And you can see, like I say, we've got a little bit left over at 16, which I think gives us a catch flame. It does. There you go. One catch flame. So that is the build, my beautiful people. I hope you did enjoy this video. My first ever guide build video. And once again, Dragon Priest. You know, dragons is something that I find are really fucking cool. And, you know, a Dragon Priest build is also really fucking cool. So I hope you did enjoy this video. If you'd love to see a level 150 version or a level 125 version of that good stuff, then please let me know in the comments down below. I will obviously be reading all of them. if you know you want, I may even do a dragon cult build, because obviously there is the dragon cult stuff. If we just quickly go over here, I've managed to go kill one of them, you know, bada bing bada boom, where it mesmerise spells. Yep. There you go. For example here, Lazarex Glaive, that's a dragon cult, this is a dragon cult, this is a dragon cult. So, if you want, I could have a go at making a dragon cult thing, but the dragon communio stuff is what I enjoy a lot more, and what I've been having a lot more fun with. So yes, beautiful people, I hope you did enjoy this video. I'm going to quickly show how we can go do the animation cancel on this knight. So we go. Boom. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, another thing just before I head off. Look at that. Look at me being a scrub dude. Catch flame. Catch flame. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Catch flame. Catch flame. Oh, I'm messing up. Basically, you do 2 catch flames into a claw. If I can actually do it right. Jesus Christ. How can I not do it? There you go. And you'd get that animation there, and it'd basically be the damage done instantly. It's okay in PvE, you do this in PvP, you are scum, but this is just basically something that you can do in PvE should you want to. Chances are it's going to get patched out, but while it exists, why not do it if there's something that's giving you trouble? Anyway, my beautiful people, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like and subscribe, that's greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel and you haven't done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button to become absolutely awesome. Join the Discord where we have memes, topics, we love anime, we love Elden Ring, we love video games, we're all gamers and good stuff. Follow me over on the Twitch where I will be live streaming more now. I will try and be live streaming more, beautiful people. I've had a little bit of setback in life recently, but you know, times are changing and your man's becoming stronger now, you know. I mean, I've got to be like showing people how to play this game correctly with the Dragon Priest build. And yeah, my loves, with all that said and done, once again I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care, and bye bye.